Daisy, what's your assessment, I suppose, of that game for yourselves?
Really disappointing start to the game. We sort of just missed the jump a bit. We knew we were going to get a really competitive Essendon outfit who were great around stoppages and the contest, and they just sort of gave us a bit of a lesson in that first quarter. To go minus 20 contested possessions and not get an inside 50 is a tough start. But to our girls' credit, I thought their ability to fight their way back into the game and then play out the game right until the very end was really pleasing. But an early reminder that, you know, the competition is really, really tough, and if you're not ready to go from the very first bounce, well then good opposition will make you pay like Essendon did today. But yeah, really pleasing with our group that we're able to have the resilience to kind of acknowledge that at quarter time and then go to work.
You said you were losing the contested possession early on. It looked like at one stage you were pushing a forward up to the midfield and they weren't going with you, so they were having almost a spare back at times, and even when you did get the ball going forward, they were able to then control and counter-attack. Was that a move to try and get the contested possession, or were the players just getting sucked to the ball?
Yeah, you do give up we did do that at times. We did a similar thing last week to good effect against Richmond, and then started it a little bit differently this week, but did it in an attempt to generate some clearance and time in forward half. But when you do that, you're giving them a spare back, like you said, and Maddie Gay we knew would be a threat in that space. And we were trying to get time into her, which we did okay in patches, but at different times, smart player really capitalised. But yeah, it's one of those tricky situations where you are giving it up a bit to try and arrest it. So ideally don't have to go there, but we'll keep just making that decision in game.
Emma started forward. What was the plan behind that? Obviously, she's such a good clearance player. Is that a fitness thing, considering she's coming back from an injury?
No, she was fully fit and available. Wasn't on limited minutes. It was more probably just trying to get the right combinations at the right time. So if you start all of one look in there, you then end up with them all out of the midfield at the same time as well. So just a matter of trying to get combinations, and then a matter of what worked last week. You don't want to, Swanee's an outstanding player, and it was awesome to have her back in and available, but didn't want to completely change what had worked the week before. So just trying to find a way to, get a bit of the best out of everyone. But she had her time on ball as well as the game went on.
Just on the slow start, obviously last week was so exciting, a thrilling win. Was there can you put that down to anything, given all the momentum from last week?
No, not particularly. I think it's just learning and growth for our group. No, nothing in our prep. I thought we trained well on Tuesday and Thursday in tough conditions. I thought our attitude towards training and wanting to continue to improve and learn was really good. But yeah, immediate reflection is nothing in particular, just a good lesson of where the competition's at and where we've got to keep improving. But we'll reflect and pick it all apart and make sure we're not missing anything. But no, nothing comes to mind immediately.
And the style today, it seemed like there was a lot of head-up leads and short passes. Was that a plan? You got caught out on the side wing out there for a while. What was the thoughts behind that?
No, not a shift. There was nothing different that we were sort of aiming to do. We're constantly trying to work on our decision making as to when to just take territory and kick the ball long and back in our contest ahead of the ball and try and win that contest versus building the ball up and having more contested possession chains. But we didn't come into this game with a different approach. It's probably just every week's going to be ongoing learning about what stage in the game demands one of those versus the other. And at times we probably missed that. Today it was probably one of our big RFIs from this match is we invited their pressure a little bit by taking aggressive options when they weren't on or Essendon had defended them well, and I thought it cost us a few really crucial goals. And then other times where we probably had an opportunity just to take the ball forward, buy ourselves 40 metres of territory and get in behind it, and we looked for another handball or didn't have that conviction in what we were doing. So it's just something we'll keep practicing. But yeah, that it hurt us a bit at times today.
Jess Hosking spent a fair bit of time on Prasparkas in that second half and was quite sort of physical with her. Do you feel like that's something that can work for you going forward if mids do get off to the chain a bit?
Yeah, Hosco, we know whatever role she'll play, she'll do it at 110%. And, you know, I was surprised to see low possessions for herself. She's sort of someone that can impact even when she's not getting her hands on the ball, and part of that was playing a bit of a selfish role, that when she went into the middle, spending time on Prasparkas. She's someone that she comes to mind whenever you need a fire started anywhere. But yeah, that's a role that we'll keep looking at developing. You know, that balance between giving some of our threats jobs on big players like that. Conti last week, Prasparkas this week have both had an impact. Just developing maybe someone to run in that role. We tried a few different things on Prasparkas today, but she's an outstanding player. We just couldn't quite contain her. But Hosco had an almighty crack.
Bess Schilling as well, can you talk us through her development, because that's now back-to-back weeks. She's been a really important interceptor down back.
Yeah, Shiloh's one-on-ones today were pretty incredible, and her development's been exciting. Someone as physical and competitive as her reads the ball really well in the air. You know, a couple of big jobs, and again in Soph McDonald's absence, being able to really play a big role down back. She's worked really hard, Shiloh, and then I think just the confidence factor of coaches really backing her in and playing her to her strengths has been important. And yeah, she's coming along nicely. I thought Zoe Wackford took a big step forward today as well, as another one of our key defenders. Played last week off a limited prep, and I think she was better again today in her one-on-ones. Just a couple of really big spoils, committed to her aerial contests really well.
Quick turnaround now to Thursday night, and obviously spending a bit of time in Melbourne sort of in this compressed fixture. What do you hope this young group can sort of take away from an experience like that? Well,
yeah, it's a good opportunity. We don't have to wait long to go to work again, so we'll play the doggies on Thursday night. We'll get one session in before then, and you can already sense in the rooms they're excited for another crack at it. And yeah, we spend a week on the road, which will be good development and a learning opportunity for us as well. So Bulldogs will be another tough assignment that we'll have a look at in the quick turnaround. It keeps the coaches busy as well. But looking forward to it. It's kind of like the games replace one of your sessions. So just prepare ourselves to peak on the right days of the week and look forward to a busy week of footy.
Ella Roberts was bandaged, obviously. Was it just a blood nose?
Yeah, I think she copped 2 knocks to the nose, but yeah, just a blood nose. No concerns with HIA or anything like that. It was just took a little bit of time to stop the bleeding. She came off with the blood rule and just a little bit of time to get her back out there, but she'll be fine.
There was a few knocks, Belinda Smith and Naomi Franklin, they're okay?
Yeah, the Frankie one I'm not aware of. I assume she's fine. She played out the game. B, I think, just copped a heavy hit to her shoulder. Came off for some assessment but came back onto the ground as well, so should both be fine.